Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. This is LG Runs Wild. I'm the host, Da Young Buck. Today we have two favorite cast members with us. We have the AHL Commissioner, Slow Gazelle. What's up, Slow Gazelle?
How's it going, buddy?
And also with us, we have our new friend, tiny little guy, Tiny Vishchacha. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
So, for those who don't know who this is Vatty. He decided to, keep the theme of the animals going, and we're here to just, talk, have some fun, drink some beers, just be one of the guys in the group. So we're gonna talk about a few things tonight. We're gonna talk about like things like that brought us into what brought us into LG, and talk about like our first seasons in the league and what it was like when we played then. And then we're gonna transition into talking about what our favorite season was overall, because we all got that one time when we had a fantastic season, or just like it was such a good vibe in the group that just made it that much of a better time. And then we'll slowly transition into what was your most memorable moment. I know what I know. What mine is. I know they know what theirs is. It's some pretty dandy stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy. How you guys doing? Gazelle, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. Took the kids to Jurassic Park today, or actually Jurassic World, sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
So they had a good time. So 6 kids, man, it was a long day.
Imagine. Daddy,
Yeah.
how you doing, buddy?
Uh, you know, I had like a cheesecake today, so that was fucking cool.
Oh boy,
What
is it a good
kind of cheese?
cheesecake?
What kind of
Yeah, yeah,
cheesecake
yeah.
is
It,
this?
it was, dude. I'm a purist, man. You just gotta have
Like
a
straight cheesecake?
straight original cheesecake made from like a mom and pop shop.
I
There
That's
you
I
that's
can
go.
respect that. That's great. Yeah.
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 That's fantastic.
That
I'm a big cheesecake fan myself, but I like an assortment. So
there you go.
pretty much any
Oh,
cheesecake, man, I'll devour that.
hold up.
What's up?
Raspberry, strawberry, or chocolate? Like what? Rank them right there.
I
Oh,
go raspberry, strawberry, and then chocolate.
Okay, good man. Buck.
yeah. I gotta
Okay,
agree. Yeah. That,
chocolate's just it screws everything up.
yeah.
That's not cheesecake to me.
No.
No,
No. So
no.
before we continue, I just wanted to give a shout out here to our good buddy Bigtacular for creating our awesome logos and avatars for this show. Like we're the zoo. We're all animals here. It's just part of the game. Somebody's got to be the alpha. That's why we run wild.
He's got to be the fat rabbit.
Is that what a Miss Chacha is, bud?
Yeah, yeah. Somebody does somebody have a picture other than my Discord? I feel like
Oh
I
man,
mean,
I think you sent one and the guy was like,
yeah, yeah. It's fantastic.
so Miss
Yeah,
Chacha, tiny Miss
yeah,
Chacha.
that was perfect.
Yeah, that was great. So, going back, like I said, we were gonna talk about like what brought us into LG. Like, so that you've been around just as long as I have. What got you into LG?
So it was back in NHL 12 where the public lobbies, and I
Uh,
was playing with who is now known as the Dollar Man.
okay, yeah, I know that. Yeah,
Okay.
he was his
Um,
own sound zoner for a bit.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we got scouted by uh if you're a longtime LG person, you'll know this name. It's Zach here.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And
That is. I think
I
you guys know
went. I
people.
was a, yeah, yeah. Think about. I don't want to throw names. I'm not going to say anything bad. But think Dusty Glove. It's in NHL 12. That's what this gentleman was. Um,
Wow.
just fantastic individual. Very very dynamic. Um, in public lobbies, I went for a mill as a center. I couldn't play center, so that was a terrible bid. Um, yeah, yeah, that's how I got into it, and then I became an AGM 2 weeks in when It's Zach here got banned.
Was that on St. John?
Yeah, St. John's, where
That's when
I
your
got
that's when your gamer
yeah,
tag was Newfound Glory Hole.
yeah. Well, I'm a fan of the band is Newfound Glory, so like, and I put a number after it, and I unknowingly was a Newfound Glory hole because
You
it was
put
a zero at the
0.
end.
Favorite Newfound song right now?
Oh God, anything off of their Nothing Can Stay Gold,
Okay. Let's see.
the
I like
original.
my favorite album. I think is Sticks and Stones.
I just saw them on their 20-year. Um,
Newfound.
yeah, I just saw
Hmm.
them, and
Nice.
they were phenomenal. Yeah, they're always a good show. I've seen them like 12 times.
Yeah,
So
I love Newfound Glory, man. They're awesome.
yeah, big concert guy. I
I
know Buck is too.
Yeah, I'm a big concert guy. I've just never listened to their music, to be honest.
They're not punky for you. You're too angsty.
Sorry, bud. What can I say? Gazelle, what was you were later on?
Yeah, season 32 actually. So I used to play PSN. That's like what all my IRL buddies had was PlayStations, and they kind of quit playing Chell, and they always just played COD. Um, I was big in Black Ops, and then after I quit playing Black Ops, I went back to playing Chell, and they just didn't play anymore. And so a guy I knew also had an Xbox. He said the game was better on Xbox, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just you know buy it on Xbox instead of PlayStation. So I think it was NHL 18 was the first time I started playing on Xbox, and I was playing drop-ins goalie, and some random person said, "Hey, do you play LG?" And I was like, "The hell is that? Like, what's LG?" And so I found out word of mouth and joined super late into season 32.
Okay.
Um, didn't actually get my first chance to play until I was ECU'd for the London Knights. The owner was, I guess I'll backtrack a little bit here. So, um,
Jeez.
Mike Scott.
Oh
Mike Scott.
Oh,
no.
Okay. So,
No.
here was
No.
my first real LG experience. I just got Discord because someone on the site in the shout box said, you need Discord. I got Discord, right? Joined the Worcester Railers, was RA'd there within 2 hours. I actually sent a thing and sent a message in the chat, and I said, "Hey, goalie here. If you guys ever want to play." Mike Scott's epic response was, "Yeah, I don't typically play with TCs unless I'm forced to." So I was like, "Wow, all right then." 2 hours later, I was traded to the London Knights, um, which is actually ended up where I got my first actual shot in LG. So I got an ECU game. I got lit up. I faced like 49 shots, 10 goals against. It was epic.
What a
Got
start.
flipped,
What a
right?
start.
Got flipped over to what was his name? Wes McCauley. He was South
Oh.
Carolina's owner. Played a
Okay.
couple of games for him, and he traded me back to London after 2 weeks. And Diabolic Viper actually immediately called me up when I got traded back there.
Jeez.
Sir Mike Knight was the owner. He was pissed. He said, "Enjoy this week. You'll be going back to TC after this." I said, "Okay." And I played 3 games, I think, that week and got 2 shutouts in them. And he messaged me and he said, "We're going to keep you on roster." I said, "I figured. Thank you." So,
Oh boy, you earned that spot. You
yeah,
earned
it
that
was,
spot.
yeah,
what a
my intro to
redemption
LG
story.
was different. So,
Wait, what? Daddy?
I said, what a redemption story.
Right?
yeah, right.
You gotta move around. Got tossed around
Yeah.
like a hoe.
Yeah, I did. I did.
But you earned
Hey,
that.
when you can't play, you're just a manager like me.
Yeah. Ex NHL owner.
Yeah.
Also ex NHL owner.
Yeah.
Last place. Let's go, baby. Woo!
I had a few seasons like that.
Yeah, I know. At least you made playoffs.
Once
I'll give you that.
carried by Nuge, but
The fact that you got Nuge was just amazing.
yeah, I know. And the fact that I had to play him with myself was sad but amazing as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's great. Man. Like, going back to me, like, I started back in VHL, like on League Arena.
Oh, boy.
Like League Arena. I
Yeah.
played one season with the Vancouver Giants. I played like 5 games, and I did like 3-2 or something like that. But then they got me back the next season, same team, and I went like 38-2-5, something like that.
Damn.
And then
Nice.
and then LG flipped to
Mm.
like to LG, or VHL went to LG, merged, so that was cool. And I took over the Edmonton Oil Kings in the middle of the season. I got TC'd and ended up being the GM because there was no owners back then. It was just like I was the GM of the team in like week 6 for the Edmonton Oil Kings. It was like season 3 of the CHL. But then in season 4 I did Moncton. That was a good time. I had guys like Battle for Beer on my team.
Oh my
I know
gosh.
Daddy knows who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battle for
Holy
Beer. Shout out to him. The greatest drunk I've ever seen. Oh man, what a good guy.
You know what? Hold on. You said season
4. That was Moncton.
4?
Yeah. He was also on my team in Drummondville for a bit in season 6 when I went to the Mem Finals. I'm still mad I
So my-
lost. So I'm 0-2 in Mem Finals, and it took me, 35. Well, they skipped like a chunk of seasons, but like in the number line, I went from season 6 in the Mem Finals to season 41 in the Mem Finals.
The way I know you is season 6.
Yeah, because
When
you
you
were
were Drummondville.
Drummondville, and I was having my good old one-on-one battles with none other than Shakudami Golden Aces.
Yeah.
Aces. That's a character right there.
We literally like were 1-2 for like the entire season, and he won the Q by like 1 point, and then it ended up being 1v4 and 2v3 in the Q semis, and Shakudami
Yep.
swept. And then I can't even remember who the 4 seed was because they got swept, but we were playing Valdor, and I can't remember the owner's name, but he was such a scumbag.
Oh gosh, Obi-Wan.
Yes, that's it. Obi-Wan, yes. And oh man, we went down 0-3 against Valdor, and we're like, no. First ever team in LG to reverse sweep. 1 game
Nice.
4, 1 game 5. I took a forfeit win in game 6. Forced game 7, played myself, and smacked them like 6-1.
Nice. That's
You
awesome.
Brett
My
were
line
disgusting.
mates, my line mates were Cribs U and Cribs U.
Yeah, yeah.
The Buck Cribs line was gross. Our team was a bunch of nobodies, and then we played Shakudami and took them out in 5 to win the Q, and then got swept in the Mem Finals against Belleville.
Well, Belleville was like
Belleville was,
stupid.
yeah, they had like, I'm pretty sure they had Rocket, or what was his name? Bullet? Rocket,
Bullet, that's it.
Bullet 97, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I believe ended up being a second tag, like way down the road.
You remember who that was? It was Gretzky or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
There was some notorious like second tagger.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, like
Back when there wasn't position lock.
that's true. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Games where I was in Moncton where I would have to jump in net because the guy wouldn't show up. Oh, what a bad season. It was like my first good season. I still hold the record for PIMs in that team. Like, it's been
That's
since
incredible.
season 4, dude. 80 penalty minutes in a season because it's got the stupid, like, the double glitch.
Oh
I
yeah.
had
Oh.
40 PIMs, but it's giving me 80, so I have the record, and I've had the all-time record for, like, ever. I love it. And, like, yeah, it's great.
Speaking of penalty record holders, isn't that Sean Avery?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. One of
Oh
those fights.
God.
The man,
Speaking
the
of
myth, the legend.
characters,
Oh my god, he's one for sure. But yo,
Yeah.
like, I don't even really know if I have like a straight up favorite season though. Like thinking about it, like I've had so many like bad seasons, so many good seasons. Like favorite seasons is I don't know. I've been around for like 8.5 years, so to like pick one, it's like I don't know. Do you
Yeah.
guys?
So yeah, I
Here,
mean, I've
here.
got
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Okay.
Buck,
Yeah.
instead of favorite season, what was your favorite league that you played in?
Oh fuck. I gotta say AHL still. Like honestly,
Yeah.
like I started in the C like anyone else and like did 3 seasons, went up to the A as a player. But I gotta say season 23 then because like that was I was on Grand Rapids. It was my best season I've ever had in net. I went like 31-8-3, and we won the President's Trophy and like that whole playoffs was just insane in the sense of like everything happening. So Mackie was known as made of two faces back then.
Yep.
And like he was like devil's advocate. Like everyone hates Mackie. Don't get me wrong. He's earned that rep. He's accepted that rep. I love him to bits, and like I have a huge respect for him for what he did way back in the day when no one knew. But Coach Crass was trying to like take forfeits in the playoffs against Mackie, and the entire league was like, "Yeah, we're just not gonna play our playoff games if you guys allow him to take the forfeits." And literally every team protested and just refused to play like 2 nights in a row. And the league's just like, "Yeah, we don't know what to do. I guess we're just gonna have to like tell them they can't take the forfeits and they're gonna have to reschedule those games."
jeez.
And then Krask got swept.
Brass was, oh god.
Oh man! And then like we man, my management was the Broach and Gucci goals. And
Oh, what a great tandem.
and Cuddy, like
Oh yeah.
his cousin Cuddy, not the PSN
That
comedian.
dog, yeah. Yeah.
Cuddy, as his gamer tag is. But oh man, I don't know. We had so many issues on that team. We played against a good Chicago team, and it was run by Kopitar, so Kopi now. And man, just the stuff that he did to us in that series, we should have swept them. But we went down 0-2 and then fought back to go up 3-2. And then we played our other goalie in the game 6, and he let up 6 and let in 5 short side goals. And the same line for the Chicago was playing game 7, and we played our same line. But I was like, Crew's gonna get lit up again. Play me. They're like, no. They lost like 5-1, and it was all short side goals again. And I was like, guys.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. Definitely my favorite though.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've pretty much in my like 9 to 10 seasons. I say 9 just because the first season I joined super late, so I don't really count that. But I split between the A and the C. Spent 1 season in the N. I think
I
honestly,
remember you at the
this
end.
I've got 3 seasons that I had a ton of fun on. Season 35 was London Knights. I was the owner. GM was Dirty Dishes, one of my buddies. And then probably, obviously, the season I spent in the end with OG Loki.
Yeah, Vegas. I
Uh,
remember that.
yeah, I was having a really good AHL season,
Yeah.
and Mr. Worldwide at the couple weeks before the trade deadline dumped me off on the worst team to save a friend. I was not happy about that, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then I guess I didn't know this obviously until I got traded to Chicago, which was that AHL team was the
Yeah.
second worst team at the time. And I was like, oh man, that's rough. And the trade went through and Loki messaged me and he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "For what?" And then bam, he hit the call up button and I was like, "Oh wow, okay." I was like, "All right." And then
Yeah.
played
The rest of the
in the
season.
end. The rest there, I backed up Vanix and I learned a lot from him.
Yes.
Great goalie,
Yes.
solid
He's
dude.
so good.
He's
Yeah, solid goalie.
like unreal.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him. Just
Yeah.
watching the games every night and talking back and forth with him. So
That's
yeah,
that's a good
that's a
mentor
great
to have.
experience.
Holy shit.
So
Like, wow.
yeah, I mean, I kind of lucked into that situation there, and it just worked out. So that was like a season of ups and downs that just turned into a solid experience in the end. So yeah, it's in between those 3 seasons. They're kind of tied for me.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the third one actually. This last season with Sham and Mance. The party vibes are elite, second to none. Mostly spent with trolling Sham.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
it's super fun. But yeah, those 3 seasons, those are it for me.
Batty. I see you just nodding along. Are you ready?
He's
I
ready.
went
This
back
one's
and
got
looked
something.
at some of these teams that I played on,
Oh,
and oh my god,
yeah.
I
I didn't even like do that. I should have done that.
all right. So we did. I'll do top three because Gazelle did it. All right, best favorite season, best statistical season. My second season, CHL, Saginaw Spirit.
Yes.
I was with B Major.
Yep. I remember that.
I had a good group of buddies on that team. Um, but guys that are like relevant now, the only guy that's actually still plays is probably like AZ Mike War
Oh my god.
and Crazy Ape. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
crazy
crazy.
ape. Okay,
Yeah.
I played on London with him. Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, nobody plays LG anymore from that team.
I feel
Second
that.
favorite season, Buck will know this team because he was on it for a split second. San Diego Goals,
Season 26,
season
baby.
26. I was a non-playoff team the season before that. I made this
Yep.
crazy effing trade, okay? There's a
Yep.
guy it went by the name by Malcheski back then. Now everyone now knows him as Grandma and Earn, which
Yep.
is fantastic gamer tag, by the way. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
top of the line. Oh,
It's almost
I
like that above.
yeah.
Yeah.
I traded a TC for him, and he was a drafted player in the third round.
Wow.
Yeah.
Malcheski didn't play a single game before that in the AHL, and suddenly, I can't remember. He had like
He blew.
100
Yeah, he
points.
blew it out of the water.
I had some crazy first line stats from that team, and we ended up winning the division. He went 23-2 with 89 points,
Wow.
and I did. Oh God, let's see, best trade ever. I can actually scroll down because I'm on this thing. I'm just gonna. I'm pretty sure it was seventh defense that I traded
Yeah.
with,
That makes sense. Yeah.
and it was. Oh boy.
Oh man, I'm going to pull up that trade from season 6 that we did.
Yeah. How about when we traded? What's it's Zach here? 25 times.
No, I'm trying to find it. Give me a second.
Jesus.
Oh, we did a circle jerk trade. Not even lying. That's
Literally,
it
there's
really
a
was.
rule. There's a rule because of being Buck.
And there's 2 others that we did it with.
Yeah, B Major and Stoner, maybe.
I gotta find it. We were trading back and forth the only hombre. Like
Yeah, that's it. Because he was.
Zumek and Hombre. It was me, Vadi, B Major, Patan. Just And it was just for nothing. It was like Zumec Hombre for nothing. Zumec Hombre for nothing. Just bang, 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 like nonstop for 3 hours. We traded them like
Phil?
25 times.
We went to fill the
Jesus.
newsfeed.
Like, man,
That
I'm
is
looking at it
insane.
now, and it's like oh wow, I did a fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10 for 6 trade. Oh, I traded Iceman 9. Dave, rest in peace, buddy.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he passed away in like 2016 or
Yeah.
17. Yeah, Dave, Iceman
I did.
9. Great dude.
Yeah.
Met him in XOHL, in a league I'm permanently banned in.
Is that league still even relevant?
No, it's dead.
I thought so.
But then, yeah, I'm looking at the trade now, and it's like 10:01, 10:04, 10:07, 10:09, 10:10, 10:12, 10:13, 10:16, 10:17, 10:19, 10:25.
Yeah, that was rough.
And it keeps going all the way until 11:07 p.m. Like, so we did it for an hour straight, just like bang, bang,
Jesus.
bang, 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 bang. We got in so much shit.
We did. We got in a lot of trouble.
We literally just got a slap on the wrist and just like, don't do it again.
That was Gazelle. You have no idea how lax the CHL used to be.
That was Zeno's
Alright,
CHL.
I'll come clean. All right. So me and Major used to be really good boys, and like we did a bunch of CHL media back in the day.
Yes.
Um,
Behind the
I
screens.
got Jerdubs back in the day in the CHL. It was like one of my last CHL seasons. He pissed me off because he like kept flagging out of games and then demanded a trade because he couldn't keep in games. Then he went to Flint and never lagged out of a game. Okay, and this is like first line NHL player
Yeah.
in the CHL, right? And he's on a roster. I may or may not have likened his picture with a person to that person looking like a donkey.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And this is back in it was way back in the day.
Yeah.
I issued an apology, but the CHL was the Wild Wild West back then.
Oh yeah.
Zeno
You
Zeno had his hands full.
And yeah, he just didn't know what to do because it was just so bad. So
But
bad.
now we're all reformed. Look at us. We're all clean cut.
Reformed.
We're real good people.
I mean, I'm still
Just
the biggest troll in the world. And
yeah.
And like, I'm still one of the boys. Like when you're like in the manager's chat, for example, like, I don't know, y'all are just chatting. Yeah, I'm gonna tag along. I'm not just gonna be like reading it. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not a boring.
I want to
commish.
know. I want to know my like managers. I want to like get to know them on a like person to person basis. That's how like one you get the rapport to keep managers because they want to manage in your league. And like
Yeah.
Gazelle got to witness it as a manager firsthand when
Mhm.
in like season 39, and then he jumped on staff, and now look at him, big boy. He AHL commissioner.
How
Yeah.
you liking that, by the way, Gazelle? Seriously, how's it going?
That's going good, man. Pretty much the same as before, just some extra tasks. That's about it. A lot of the guys in the AHL management chat I'm familiar with, so
I was
know a
gonna
lot
say
of
it's a lot of XCH, like previous 3 seasons of CHL management are up there.
there's
Like
quite a bit. Like Garbs is there. Show
drafted
Southsider's
garbs, if you
there.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of former guys I used to play against back in like 34, 35 in the CHL that are now managing the A. So good to see old faces and stuff, But as far as the job itself, like I said, I wouldn't say it's lax, but it's chill.
That's good, man.
A lot of good people, CHL, AHL, So
Yeah.
been a good experience so far.
So now that we've reformed, and like I said, like Vatty and I have been around for like 8 years, and Gazelle, you've been around for at least 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most memorable moment I know what mine is. Like, it's hands down like the most memorable moment in AHL history. It's gotta be like
The roast.
the AHL Rose season 25. Like, this thing was so okay. I started doing media in AHL in season 24 with the AHL Hateful Eight,
Okay.
and it was literally like the most hated people in the community. I had Coach Crass, I had Made of Two Faces, which is Mackie, I had E Rice, I had Dan Hudden.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah.
like legit had like
E
the biggest
Rice.
heels, like the people who like everyone hated in this one show. And it was just the
Man.
most chaotic, amazing thing ever. We did like 4 episodes.
Yeah, I've got a nice story about E Rice for you.
Oh god, every story about E Rice is a golden story.
That's
Oh
very true.
It's E
man.
Rice. You
Uh,
missed the days where he was smashing tables and throwing chairs.
so I'll just tell you real quick. So basically, you know how you can create the pickup games under the chat box,
Yeah.
the LG pickup games. So going into season 33, I signed up for one, got confirmed for one. Obviously, had every intention of playing. My kid jumped off the couch, hit the coffee table, and split. He's got a nice little scar right here on this eye, like right by his eye. It's about half an inch long. Um,
Jeez.
so I had to take him to the hospital and get stitches. And I forgot my phone there too. So I come back and I was like, oh man, I missed that. And I signed on to Xbox and I have a message from E Rice, a bunch of them. And long story short, he said a few choice words to me in that for
Oh
missing
yeah.
the scouting game, and then said he would personally make sure I never play a game in LG ever.
Sounds like E
So,
Rice.
yeah.
He would
so I
literally
was,
he would
I was like,
literally
oh, okay.
make like this rant on this show called Ranting with E Rice or something. Or it was this haiku or something like that. And he would
Yeah.
always do it towards Mackie. But it was nobody's faces back then, so he'd always scream, "Faces!" And then just like be like start reading his like haiku. It's
Oh
so
boy.
fucking funny. But
Yeah.
season 25, I had a show called the AHL Hearing Aids. Like,
Oh
but
boy.
I thought it was funny. It was because like that was the time when we were using the word like, "Oh, this game is AIDS. Oh, this game is AIDS." So I just thought it
Yeah.
was perfect. Um, we were just doing. We did a couple shows here and there, and then I made this huge hype thing like, "Yo, we're gonna do an AHL roast. Like, come say whatever you want. Anyone can come on the air. Just like come chat. Like, have a good time." These guys are coming in, dropping N bombs, dropping hard R's, like
Oh
all the
Dude,
boy.
it was
slurs.
not.
Yo, the show went on for 3.5 hours, and like I had like hosted in the LG forums. It was posted a thread. Like, yo,
Oh
this guy
Jesus.
Rogue Potato. Okay, he's then changed his gamer tag to Arab Potato. Legit dropped a racial slur towards African Americans, a racial slur towards Native Americans, a racial slur towards
Unreal.
like Asian people. I was just like, dude. And then he just kept going and going, and then we finally kicked him because it was just like too much. And he did it all in
Yeah.
the span of like 3 minutes.
Oh my God. Yeah. People like that.
But
No place
yeah,
for them.
but then it
That's
became like
ridiculous.
people were jumping in like the chat and like the chat box, and like they were roasting us. So like people were roasting back and calling them like personally
Oh
attacking them. And
It
like
was bad.
one of the most memorable
man.
moments is legit Danky went off on somebody, like off on somebody, like slurs everything. And
Didn't he end up getting banned for that? Like, how many
no,
bans happened because of
so
that?
5 bans happened. I was one because I hosted it and let it happen for 3 hours. It's like the most asked for thing that I get in my DMs. I get random messages all the time. Yo, do you still have a copy of the roast? It's like, no, I deleted it literally at 6 a.m. the next morning. It ran from like 8 to 11, and then I was like, okay, that
Yeah.
was horrible. I gotta kick that down. And like, I removed it.
Yeah.
but like the damage was done. So I was gone. Rogue Potato was gone. So there wasn't capitals at the time. It was just 3-season bans. Like that's it.
Mhm.
So you could just buy it out and come back. Like COs weren't a thing. So I bought mine out.
It was
It was
nuts.
$50. But like it was me, Potato, Dan Hutton. So this is why I was like Danky got away. Like Danky got away. He got all the slurs and everything. Like and went off on some dude, like personal attacks and everything. Like it was really funny though. Like we were laughing the entire time. Like it kind of felt like a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Like, you know when you're in the game chat?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was that bad. And
Oh man.
I mean, it was also like a year later, like a year after those lobbies, so kind of makes sense too. But
Mm,
he blamed it all on Navi, and Navi got hit because there was no more proof, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it was Navi." And I'm like, "Guys, it wasn't Navi. It was Danky." They're like, "Nope, it was Navi." Everyone's saying it's Navi. I'm like, Navi joined at the end to just call like people fat, straight up.
Jesus. That's insane.
Yeah, it's gotta be the most memorable AHL moment, like all of LG, because everyone who was
Insane.
around at the time, NHLers, CHLers, AHLers, everyone knows about it.
Yep.
It was that big. Like, I shouldn't
That's
have done
insane.
it, but I don't regret it because I wish I still had it sometimes to go back and be like, holy fuck, what was I doing? So to be in the role that I'm in now after that, oof,
Things have changed a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, my most memorable moment isn't quite like that. It was actually in the NHL playoff game. So, do you remember when the Anaheim Ducks teamed up and streamed their playoff games for the
Yes,
NHL?
DJ Jojo.
Yeah, with the DJ. Yep, choked in front of 500 people right there. That was pretty memorable. Lost like 5-3. Let in some crappy goals.
Oh.
It was
Oh, the little
yeah,
Zaldus,
you know,
it's
it
okay.
was it was a memorable moment in a bad way.
It
But
happens to
yeah,
everybody.
absolutely. It's just the worst time to have a terrible game, and
Yeah.
it happened. And looking back on it, it's just like, I was pretty cool because I was part of like the first NHL team kind of having any sort of affiliation with the LGHL. So that was kind of cool to be a part of.
Daddy.
I have a lot of love for the people who can like go play esports. Like, holy crap! I wish I had thumbs that were that cool.
Legit though,
um,
like that's actually like a legit feeling because like
yeah,
it's just a game. It's like if you understood, it's not just a game. It's literally a lifestyle.
yeah,
Like
it's
to
really neat.
not be able to be that good is so discouraging sometimes, especially when the game is so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
Most memorable moment though, gosh, I don't know. I've had a few, but I would say some of my favorite moments are back in early LG. Um, just I I think the community was much less toxic back then.
Yes, it really was. Yep.
Um, it just like in the CHL when I was a manager first time, like people would just like reach out for help. Like yeah, you had your guys that like you didn't want to talk to, but like that's when I met Buck. That's when I met Major. I met so many
Golden
good people back
Aces.
then.
Yeah.
Golden Aces, like I mean, even Ace is a weird dude, but he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Aces is a
He's
good dude.
always
He
been a
does
weird but good dude.
I don't think there's a bad bone in that guy's body. He's a nice guy.
It's just like Major, man. Like, yo, I remember Major when he was like 12.
yeah,
We
yeah,
played
it's
when Major was
crazy.
like 12. We did media with the kid when he was 13.
I know.
We did a show
I,
called
like you think
CHL
about that
Behind the
now.
Screens.
Yeah, you think about that now. Like that would it'd be way different.
Yeah.
But doing it 6 years ago, like, yeah. And I think that's a topic that I would love to explore a little bit. Just the good old days and what was different.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I would love to just like get around and chat about. Because, man, like, people were just there were people that sucked ass, and they still do. But like, the community was much more welcoming. I feel like way back in the day.
And like, scrub hunters really did get called the fuck out.
Yeah, they did.
They really did
Oh
get
my God.
actually called the fuck out. It wasn't some like, yeah, he's a scrub hunter, here's the stats. It was like, no, like you got roasted like hard every day just until you stopped scrub hunting. And you know who was the best the ones at it? Kadri and fucking Stiffy Nope.
Oh my God. Yeah, Nazem Kadri 43
And Stiffy Nope.
and Stiffy No.
Yeah.
Yep. They still run.
Yes, they do. They don't run in LG, but they still run. Oh, did Fatty freeze?
Yeah, I think he did.
No.
Oh, there we go. He's good now.
Yeah, he's good now.
Stupid internet. That's why you pay for the good stuff, kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's LG's been a ride, man. I can't wait to see what the next few years hold. I think I can honestly say, like, it feels like we're going towards a more positive place.
Praying.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go back to B Major though. Like, to see where he started with us, like, way back. Like, I feel like a dinosaur back.
Yeah.
And, like, look what he's doing now. He's doing like actual promoted streams with like esports and like he's suit and tie. Like, kids all grown up, and it's just like, I remember him when he was a kid. Like, I see him kind of like as a little brother. I don't talk to him much anymore. I don't. I just
No,
I
yeah.
know every time I see his stream, I'm just like, I gotta watch it. It's like I grew up.
He's phenomenal at what he does
Oh,
too.
yeah, he's really
Like,
good. And
he's actually
so unbiased.
going- yeah, he's going to college for it. I actually keep in touch with him. He's coming to my wedding.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Me and Emily are flying him out. So, yeah. I mean, I've been friends with Major. Like, we were managing together and all that. So, like, just to see like the progression of him and like how far he's came, I'll probably shout him out and let him know to listen to this because he loves looking at what LG media happens nowadays. Especially since we used to do so much of it, especially with Buck.
Yeah.
It's just, it's crazy.
I was looking through my old podcasts and I sent you a couple of them, like from LG
Yeah.
Overdrive. Like, okay, you guys gotta understand, I did like hardcore AHL media from season 26 through 30, and like it was every week I had an episode out, and like I was hard on the cast. Like, I had like a fairly accurate, like active cast too. Like, I had Dudley Do Right. I had Fatty for a bit. I had Riss the Lion. I had Mackie. I had who else? I had Down Syndrome Dave for a bit. I had UT75. Notorious was on it for a while too.
Yeah, that was when Notorious was like
Salty Sailor, like
fourth line worthy.
fourth line. Oh yeah, most memorable moment was that he's like, his girlfriend's like, "Is the camera off?" He's like, "Yeah." We're just like chatting. It's not like live or anything. And then she runs out and she's like just in like after school where she just took off her uniform and like ran to the kitchen to go get food in like underwear. And then she comes back running by and she goes, "You're such an asshole, you liar!" And then she runs away. Oh, you're never gonna live this down, fourth line. He's like, "I know, but it was worth it."
That's funny.
He's such a good guy.
Some of the guys that were back in the AHL back then too,
Oh man,
like they were the AHL was like, it was weird because you had really good kids. Fourth line was managing.
Dan Hutton.
Dan Hutton.
Macros.
There were Macros, yeah. Oh, who was the other one? STL Bleeker,
Mackie.
Mackie. You know what? No, the one I'm thinking of is they beat me and that pissed me off because they're so good. RG Breezy and
Oh,
Lorenzo.
yes, the Laval teams.
Well, they were Tucson before.
Yes.
Yeah,
In the
and
late
they were
season,
so good.
Yeah, the late 20s. Yeah. Season 20. I took a team. I took a team under Snoopy.
Oh,
I
Snoopy
remember that.
was the NHL owner of Detroit in season 28. And I was so happy to go back to Grand Rapids just for Snoopy to switch to Edmonton.
Yep. And then you were what?
Bakersfield Condors.
Yeah. Oh god, what a terrible jersey too.
Oh my god. Oh my god. My GM was Salty, so I was GM, my AGM was Salty Sailor.
Yep.
And it was a decent team. It wasn't great. It was decent. And we were out of playoffs. And our last game of the season, my guys were just pissed off. So they were just like, "Can we run all enforcers?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
I remember this. Yep.
And we had like 98 hits in the game. The other team had like 37 power play attempts. We lost like 12-4.
My
Go for
God.
it.
Yeah. And then Salty AC'd me for not properly managing team because I said yes, they can basically throw the game by running all enforcers. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
and then you have Sean Avery who runs like
literally game 82 versus the President's Cups team. It was like it literally didn't matter. It didn't affect the standings. We're just like the guys are just frustrated. They all showed up. Shout out to Huddy. He played in that game. I missed that kid.
hold on. But I don't want to be like too long here, but like there was a time, Gazelle. I don't think you were around for it. There was an entire NHL line for the St. Louis Blues
Oh my
that
god.
led the league in points, and they were all enforcers.
Oh, that was probably NHL 18 because NHL 18 you could run the enforcer build and it was meta, like you couldn't get knocked off the puck.
I don't remember who it was. It was something with a T.
I don't know. I
I
can't remember.
can go back and look.
I don't
It was
know.
Dookie played with them.
Dookie? What season
Yep.
was that?
Hold on, I can tell you. I've learned to use the LG site way too well.
That's a good thing to have as a manager. Not gonna lie, that was St. Louis, right?
Yep, St. Louis. It was the season 25.
Yeah, I remember that team actually.
Oh,
He
okay.
was running a grinder build, but he was playing with shit and Ryan 6. My buddy Ryan, I play. He's actually on my ball hockey team.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
So you actually know the guy in real life then too.
I know several LG guys in real life.
Yeah.
Like
I think the
several. I've
closest
gone
one to me.
weddings for LG guys in the U.S. Like,
Yeah, there's
oh,
I think the closest guy in LG that lives by me because I live in the middle of fucking nowhere is Slummy,
okay.
the Sarnia owner. He
Yeah.
lives about 45, 50 minutes from me. But other than that, everyone's always like, "Where the fuck's that?" So
I feel ya. I live like in the smack dab in the middle of the states, so
Have
yeah,
you met
I live
any
in
LG guys?
I live in South Dakota.
I haven't.
Jeez.
I know a
Fuck.
bunch of guys that are close to me
But you never.
because I'm out of STL, so like
Mm,
there's actually a pretty good base of people here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know what's crazy about me though is like even though I've managed every season since season 21, if you go back and look at my teams, I never have the same group. Usually,
That's true.
like over a 5-year span, 5-season span, it changes.
Yep.
It's weird. Most people have their boys. I kind of
Rotate.
mold. Yeah, it's weird.
it's weird.
Yeah, like.
Well, like
Not a bad thing.
no.
Like straight up, like the Neils, like Nealer in the NHL and Neil 19 and Rapier X11, like I know them all IRL, like they're close friends. Like I've known them for like 6-7 years. I met them through LG.
Mm,
And like we all live in Ottawa. Like it's a great time. Like I'm gonna be
Didn't
playing.
Cax live there too?
Cax lives in Gatineau. Oh yeah, he lives in Ottawa, but he works in Gatineau.
Oh, okay.
I invited Cax over actually when he lost power when we had the storm a couple weeks ago for dinner because he didn't have food and I was barbecuing that night. But he decided to drive home to go see his mom and I was like, cool. But like you're always welcome.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the Neilers, the Neils. I've met Vadim, I know his name, Kelly X74.
Yep. He
I-
was disgusting too.
yeah, him and Johnny.
Yeah.
So I've stayed at his place en route to Zero Crash's wedding, and then stayed at his place again on the way home.
Damn.
So I met him. I've gone to a Yankees game with Zero Crash. Trediak, who used to be a CHL manager just not long ago, he was Shawinigan with Drags. I've known him for a long time, and I've stayed at his place for like 2-week periods. Like I go down to go see him and stay at his place for 2 weeks in the summers. So
He's a cool dude.
yeah, he is. He's a prep school kid, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a super cool
most. It's really like it's crazy. Like looking back, how many great people I met in LG.
Yeah.
Like it's actually really cool.
Like,
Yeah.
Even Brody. People give Brody a lot of shit. Brody's good people.
yeah.
I had him for 2 seasons on my team. Great dude.
He just loves the game, man.
He roasts the shit out of me every day.
Yes. So he's absolutely ruthless, and I love him for it. But he's just such a good dude all around.
Like
Yeah.
It's good to see those people at LG too.
The thing that's cool about Brody too is he actually gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like he really actually cares.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just just back on the 5th when we had that show with Maple, he actually brought something up, like because Brody's not a CHL player, right? He's definitely more capable of playing in the higher leagues, but everyone was calling him out, telling him he's out of touch and didn't have a clue about the CHL. So, I mean, he's played the last 4 or 5 seasons now down there. Like, if the guy didn't actually care, he wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah.
So
he went out of his way to go play at a worse level to get back in touch with the league. It was sick. I was like, see, I'm just doing it because like there's a huge disconnect when you're playing in the NHL and your staff in the CHL because just the communities are just so different. Like it's old, it's like stable, and it's like always been the same crew pretty much in the end. Like it's just an old squad.
He used to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Changing a lot now, but
wasn't too bad for me last season playing in the A and being staff in the C. But I think if you were in the N doing it, I think it'd be a big difference.
Yeah. Because the only time I'm ever leaving the C again is to, play goalie in the N. Because let's be realistic. Yes, I, went to the MEM finals and all that, but like, I don't belong in the CHL when I'm playing goalie.
Yeah.
But the game is entirely different also as a goalie at both levels.
I think it's harder as CHL goalie than as in the NHL.
Because NHL guys run a system. You can read a system, you can learn a system, and then you can react like accordingly because you know what to anticipate. CHL, everything's just at the net.
Yeah.
Everything's
You're both goalies, so Gazelle, like the same thing. Like AHL, I feel like was always easier for a goalie too. Than CHL because it's so unpredictable down here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different game. That's for sure. Like, I mean, I play nightly, obviously, with Sham and Mance. We play all the time. And I've played so many games with them. I think I've played over 900 games with both of them in total now. And like with Sham as my lefty, and I'll say it again. Sham's probably the best lefty I played with in this game, hands down. He's super consistent, always makes the right play. He'll make mistakes just like anybody, but as far as like people I've played with, best lefty I've played with, him and like Daddy Prosp together, like when they're my demon, I know exactly what to expect at all times. 100%. I know what's coming at me. Um, so playing with guys like that are super skilled at the game makes it a hell of a lot easier on a goalie. You're not facing 5 breakaways a game, So
Yeah.
That was what was nice about playing with the Portland first line, straight up. Like they just didn't allow anything. Like if you watched the games, like yes, they lost in OT to Oshawa, but like they don't allow anything up. What?
yeah,
And they lost to me.
Yes, that's true. They did lose to you. Their only other loss was against you.
Yeah.
Hey,
chalk that up, Betty.
I shut out J Claws and I beat Legends one time. That's on my. I keep that on my refrigerator sometimes. When I'm feeling down.
Yeah,
I
it's
keep
a
those
nice
two
little.
little things up there.
There you go.
I don't blame you.
June
Nah,
3rd, 2022. This time.
Beat Legends.
no, for real though. I like that Portland team was so talented. I think if you guys had a third line, there's a whole different series against Oshawa.
The whole difference is I'm gonna repeat it over and over again. We knew we had availability issues, and the issue was Kucherov or I can't. Sorry, no. One of the centers couldn't play. I think it was Elias. Then one of the left wings couldn't play on the first line, so it was just like, well, we don't know who's gonna play. So instead of just playing the reset line with Boyer and have like the first line center with the second line, and go into the games, they're like, no, we're gonna keep Boyer on the first line, put Lukey Dookie, who's absolutely needs map more than anyone I've ever seen on center,
Yeah.
with that line, and it literally cost us the first 2 games. If they had Boyer, I guarantee you, Portland would have been up 2-0 on Sunday, and not
It's a
down
way
2-0.
different story. Yeah.
And then Elias is good enough, but he can't carry that third line. That third line was brutal on offense, and like everyone's just like, well, it's the defense. It's the defense. Yes, Ramos and Chicken Legs were at 100 ping every game because they're from San Jose. But when you score 7 goals in 8 games, you are not going to win. When 2 of those 7 goals are own goals by the other team, you are not good. It is not the defense.
No.
It is the offense at that point.
Let me take a wild guess. They probably didn't play together outside of LG
No.
games, did they?
No.
Yeah, there's your problem right there.
It was
They just go into the game expecting it.
and Tuxeed. And like Lukey and Tuxeed, they're friends. They play together outside of LG together in other leagues. But like, man.
Yeah, but the line itself didn't play outside.
No. And like
Yeah.
we tried a lot.
I think in the CHL, like chem's important at all levels, but especially like if you have chem lines in the CHL, you are going to do well.
Like the first
And
line,
Oshawa had that. That's what Oshawa had. Well, I think that was what killed you guys in the men finals is because Oshawa's group, like they played together a lot.
Yeah.
Like they had obvious chem, they moved the puck really well and stuff. So I think that ultimately that's why they won.
I think there's a lot to say too about not having that. Yeah, like they went into the season as the favorites. I think everyone kind of understood like Portland was a real deal, and then after trade deadline, like it all became like, okay, like this is legit. They're gonna go far.
Yeah.
Buck, you even felt that way going on to that team. I know that.
They literally said
Like you're like,
because I told so I asked for a trade first of all. Everyone's like, "What? Buck asked for a trade? That's toxic." I'm like, no. I went to Nate and I said, "I'm not having as much fun this season as I did last season in Winnipeg. If you can move me, here's a list of 7 teams that I would like to be traded for. Do not trade me unless you win the trade by a mile. Get the best that you can out of me because I'm your most valuable asset." He said, "Okay." 2 days later, "You're going to Portland." I'm like, "What'd you get?" And he's like, "Guides." He's a top AHL player on PSN. Like puts up 95 points. I'm like, right there, you already overpaid, and he got 2 extra players on top of that.
Yeah.
And Flint should have gone a little bit further, but they got stomped by Sault Ste. Marie. But as soon as I got traded to Portland, I'm like, and then Chicken's like, yeah, you're playing 6 a week. I'm like, so you guys want to win? Okay.
Yeah, that and coaching legends and actually underrated guy that I watched a lot of that season and behind the scenes like begged to have was Bass Pro Shops.
Hmm.
I mean, just what a
Hey,
defenseman in him
we
too.
got
Like,
lucky with him too because he was supposed to be deployed to Europe in the WHL finals,
Oh
holy
boy.
shit, that's crazy.
but then it got like canceled like the day before he was supposed to leave, so he was able to stay. So that was huge against Lethbridge.
Yeah, that Lethbridge team. I mean, well,
Fraser did a good job rebuilding that. Was
yeah,
Yeah,
he
what
really
a bounce
did.
back. What a bounce back there for sure.
I still want my pizzas, Bishop.
Yeah, Black Olives.
Oh no, Gazelle, no.
But I
Yeah.
think it's time we should wrap this up.
Yeah, I think this is way longer than we expected
Honestly,
to
though,
go.
that's okay because you know we're just chatting, we're having a good time, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
viewers at home are gonna enjoy this. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something different. It's not like us talking about stats. It's just us having a conversation, having a great old time, having a couple
Yeah,
drinks.
for sure.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, I think this will be a lot of fun to do in the future too. So
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
honestly, if you guys have any topics for us that you guys want us to talk about on the show, by all means, you can send us a PM on the site. You can, hit me up on Discord, hit any of these guys up on Discord. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. We're trying to get some weekly, bi-weekly shows out. So, see you guys, and have a good one.